Hello.
Hi.
So, share with me how can I help you today?
I'm here today because I'm kind of sad and preoccupied.
Okay, you're sad and preoccupied.
Because yesterday, the guy I'm dating,
Mm-hmm.
he got really mad at me for something. I really don't know what happened, like why he got mad. And yeah, so I've been just like wondering if I'm the one um, who's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm not good for him, or because like yesterday we were talking and everything was normal,
Mm-hmm.
and I went with a friend of mine and his friend also,
Okay.
and we went to get a tattoo, and I told him to come to join us. I mean, I didn't say we were getting a tattoo. I said that we were like just fooling around, and he said he had to go to his house, but then he might come.
Okay.
But he never came, so I texted him again and said if he was going to come to join us. And he said no, and then he got really mad. I don't know why. He got really sarcastic. And yeah, so I've been kind of sad and yeah, and worried.
Okay. Okay, so you're telling me that this guy that you have been dating with became like really sarcastic and angry throughout the day. That you, first of all, you went to get a tattoo with one of your friends that he's also a friend of him, and you told him to come, but he told you that he may come. Eventually, he didn't. And when you asked him, he just told you that he was not going to come, and um, he become really mad, and you don't know why, and you're angry, sad, and preoccupied about this. Okay, so has this happened before?
It kind of has, not necessarily because of my tattoo.
Okay.
Usually he gets mad at me for something I do or say, and I usually know why he gets mad. However, this time I really don't know. I don't know if I said something or I did something that like made him mad.
Okay.
But I really don't know this time. In like on other situations, I usually know what triggers him. But right now, I don't know.
Okay. So it seems that he has been giving you all of these confusing signals. Like, first of all, he doesn't want to see you, or he didn't want to the tattoo shop. But then he became like sarcastic, as you said, and you didn't know why. He was kind of angry, and you usually know what the fights are about, but right now you don't know why he got mad. Uh, Talk to me a little bit more about the relationship that you have with your friend that is also a friend of him.
Okay. So my friend, okay, so I know him for about a year and a half or something like that, a little bit more maybe. He was friends with my ex-boyfriend,
Okay.
and I knew him that way.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the one who like presented me this other guy, and they know each other for a very long time. My friend, they have a really good relationship, and I do as well with my friend. And I think like this guy knows that nothing will ever happen with my friend because first of all he's gay,
Okay.
but then also because we treasure our relationship too much to like be like to do something that could mess it up.
Okay. Okay. So there's no way that your friend made the guy you're dating with could get angry because of the fact that you went out with your friend.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Do you think that the fact that you were getting a tattoo is related to why he's angry?
The thing is, he doesn't know I got a tattoo. I mean, by now he might know because my friend posted like so many pictures of his tattoo, and then I talked to other friends of his that are now my friends, and I told them that I got this tattoo. Probably he got angry because I never said what I was doing,
Okay.
or maybe he got angry because I was telling everyone else like I got a tattoo or something. But I don't know if that's like mature enough.
Okay. So you not right now, because of the fact that he doesn't tell you why he's angry, you're trying to figure out what could be the fact that made him so angry. Um, what are your plans to like overcome the situation?
I have no idea. I texted him this morning because yesterday I just didn't reply back because he was really mean and rude. So I texted him this morning saying like, "Hi, how are you? I hope you had a good night's sleep. Hope you have a good day." And he said, first of all, he like saluted me by saying like my name, and that's something he never does.
Okay.
And he said that he had a good night's sleep, and that he wishes me a good day. And then I replied back, and then he never replied to that text message. Yeah. So I don't know if I should, like, I don't want to be annoying, and I don't want to, I don't know, like bother him by calling him or texting him or telling him to like see each other. So I don't know if I'm gonna do anything.
Okay. So you're telling me that you don't want to be someone that annoys him or bothers him, but this is something that is really worrying you, and you really don't know why he became this way. Okay. So has he been like sarcastic or rude with you in any previous situation?
Not really. He has been sarcastic, but that's something we do in the relationship. It's pretty common, and it's okay with both of us. He has never been that rude. I mean, he didn't like say mean things to me or something, but he was like, yeah, he was rude in a sarcastic way. So I told him to come over to my house to see the thing that I got, and he said like, "Oh, fantastic that you got something, good for you," or something like that, but like really mean, in a mean way. And no, he has never been that way before.
Okay. So you're worried, like you mentioned, you're worried if you don't know if you did something that perhaps bothered him or said something that was wrong, and you don't understand what is going on. How long have you been seeing this guy?
I've been seeing him for 4 months. Yeah.
Okay. Would you say that by now your relationship is a serious relationship?
Not really. It's not a serious relationship, but also it has evolved a lot. But then, because we're like new to each other, we're not completely. We don't feel that safe with each other. In the way that okay, so for example, with my ex-boyfriend, we had a really good relationship where I could say anything to him, and that I had no worries that he was going to be mad at me or he was going to take it in a bad way or something like that. But now I really do care if this guy like doesn't get the like be sarcastic. If I say something sarcastic to him, I worry he's going to get mad at me and not understand the sarcasm. Yeah. So it has evolved. It's a good relationship, but it is still like building up, and we are building trust and too many other things. So I don't know. Yeah.
So you're telling me that your relationship has evolved. It's not a serious relationship, but it is an important relationship to you. Do you think that perhaps the fact that it's not a serious relationship may be linked to why you don't want to bother him or annoy him?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because like I will still talk about my ex-boyfriend because that's the reference I have. So for example, with my ex-boyfriend, it was a serious relationship, so I didn't really care if I was bothering him because I knew I wasn't bothering him.
Okay.
So even if those thoughts came to me, I like pushed them away because I knew that he was my boyfriend for a reason, and he might want to talk to me that day or see me. So even if we fight, I would still like call him or text him and it wouldn't matter. But right now, I don't know if we're like there yet, so I don't know if I can do that.
So it has to be with the fact that you don't know how to like, how is the process given? Like, what should I do now or what should I say now? Because with your past relationship, it was so easy, and you always like, you you didn't mind if you bothered him perhaps, but right now you're thinking and considering all of this stuff that you perhaps didn't do before. Okay, so have you ever bothered him, or has he told you that you're bothering him?
No, he has never. In fact, once, yeah, yesterday I told him that I didn't want to bother him, and he said something like, "You're not bothering me, and even if like, even if you were, you would know because I would tell you." So yeah, he has never said anything, and he says he would tell me. So that should be something, but still, there's this thought in my mind that says, "Don't bother him. Oh, don't bother him."
So it's not something that he is actually doing. He even told you that he will tell you if you're bothering him, but there is something that you don't want to, doesn't let you like talk to him and tell him all of these things.
Yeah.
Do you think that perhaps you know why that is? Why do you don't want to bother him, or think that it's bothering him?
I don't know. Maybe because I think we're so similar in a way, and whenever I get like annoyed at someone, I prefer to not talk to them for like a period of time, a brief period of time. So I suppose that that's the same way because, as I said before, he's so similar to me when fighting. So yeah, I wouldn't want to like to be bothered, but also I think if I was him in this situation, I would like him to call me and say something like, "Let's see each other, let's meet somewhere and talk about everything," or just like, "Don't be mad" or something. So I don't know if, yeah, because he hasn't replied to my message, and I know I would have replied. So yeah, I don't know if I should call or not.
Okay, so it seems that for you this is really confusing, and it's like really stressing you and everything. But he hasn't told you anything. You're just assuming this because that's something that you would want him to do. And if you were on his place, you would have called him and you would have told him like, "Hey, let's talk." And you're waiting for him to do the same thing, but he won't do it, or perhaps he hasn't done it yet. So, what would happen, or how would you react if he doesn't call you at all?
I would be pretty upset, but then also once, like in a fight, he said something like, "You shouldn't like assume I'm gonna do things because I might not, and that's not like healthy for you." And he's right. Like, it's I usually create all these scenarios about what I would like him to do, but they're just mine scenarios. It's not something that he's gonna do. So yeah, I would be upset. However, I shouldn't be that upset because he's he's like he's a person totally like free to do whatever he wants. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like if he doesn't text me today, I don't know if I will text him tomorrow. I probably will, but then after I like send the message, I will feel guilty. So I don't know.
Okay, so you have really thought about all of the things that may happen, and even on the details of what would you feel if you press send.
The thing is, I usually feel that way when I like, for example, this morning when I sent the text, I immediately regret it because I thought that it was a bad idea.
Okay.
That he should be the one texting me.
Okay.
So tomorrow, if he doesn't like say anything today, and I have to be the one who talks to him tomorrow, then I will feel guilty and I will regret it and I will feel upset.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right, the morning text is the first time that you write him, or do you write him like every single morning?
He's usually the one who's like who writes to
Okay,
me.
so that's why you feel like today it was like kind of okay that you wrote him, but tomorrow you do want him to write him.
Yeah, the thing is, okay, so yesterday he didn't write me either, and I was the one who sent a message to him at
Okay.
like noon, and I asked him if he was okay with me because I thought that something had happened, and that was the reason for why he didn't text me. And he said that he didn't text me because he just didn't want to, but that he expected me to text him.
Okay.
Because it wasn't like he has to always text me. So I texted him, but then, and that's why I texted him today. But then it didn't work, and yeah, I guess I got used to the fact that he always texts me first, and it feels weird if he doesn't, because I feel like I'm bothering him and he doesn't want to talk to me. However, like I try to put myself in his like position, and he might think the same way, because I don't like text him, he might think that I don't want to text him or talk to him, but then he still texts me. So I don't know.
Okay, so right now it seems that you are thinking about what he could be feeling if this happened to him, but it's not the first time that you feel that you think of something that he hasn't told you. So he has told you, despite that, he has told you that you don't have to think in advance that he made you do things, or you don't have to make some assumptions about what he's going to do. But even though he has told you that, you do that right now, even with the fact that he may be feeling the same way that you're feeling right now. Okay. Do you think that perhaps something that you could be useful for you is trying not to assume or trying not to think for him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually something that has always happened to me. I usually assume things and just think the worst scenario, and that's something I've been working on. In some like situations, I've got it managed. However, in others, like this one, I have no control, basically. But then, yeah, I should do it. But then, how should I respond? Like, if I don't do that, because I'm so used to doing that, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not.
Okay. So what do you think that may feel right for you right now? What is the first thing that comes into your mind when you?
I would love to go see him, but that's, I don't know, like crossing boundaries. He doesn't want to talk to me. That's why he hasn't replied. Otherwise, he would have replied.
Okay, so that's the first option. Like you really want to see him, but everything happens. So what is the second option?
I don't have a second option. Okay. The thing is, I think that whenever we see each other, things get better.
Okay.
At least that's also something that used to happen in my other relationship. Whenever we got into a fight, it was so much better to resolve everything like talking face to face and just seeing each other, because that helped, rather than by phone or messages. And I think that's something that happens in this relationship too, and even in other kinds of relationships in my life. I think that it's so much better to talk to the person face to face rather than by phone. So yeah.
So do you think that it may help you talking to him face to face?
Yeah, but I don't think he wants to see me.
Okay. Do you think that the fact that you're thinking that perhaps he doesn't want to see you is assuming again?
Yeah.
Yes. So could it help if you ask him? Perhaps, do you want to meet each other? Do you want to see each other and talk about all of those things?
I could, but again, he hasn't replied, so I'm assuming, but if he would want to talk to me, he would say something, and he's not saying anything, so I guess that silence means I will write to you, or I will speak to you, or see you when I feel right.
Okay, but that's something that he hasn't told you. Like you just think that perhaps that. Okay. So perhaps it could be useful if you just try to like do the things that you do want to do within your boundaries, and perhaps trying to let go of the assumptions and really ask if there's something going on. Do you think that that might help, or is it something that won't be useful?
I think it can be useful, but again, I have done that in the times that I have asked, for example, if he wants to see me or something, he takes it too personally. And that's something I do with everyone because I think I really have a confidence problem, and I don't want to bother anyone.
What do you mean with that?
That for example, it's not just him. So if I I have to see someone, or I have a date with a friend of mine or something, I would ask, "Are you sure we want? Like, are you sure you wanna see me or something like that?" So I would do the same with him,
Okay.
and then he doesn't like that. But I like when he says, "Yes, I want to see you." So that's a problem because if I say, "You really do want to see me," then he gets mad, or not mad, but then he gets sarcastic and he's like, "No, I don't. I'm just saying this to you because I have nothing else to do," or something like that. So I think it can help, but at the same time, it doesn't help that much.
Okay. So you mentioned that it's something that is not happening only with him. It also happens with other people. Like you ask them, "Do you really want to see me, or do you don't want to see me?" And it's usually a positive response. And when you ask that a lot, then he gets all sarcastic and tell me like, "No, I don't."
Actually, not a lot. Like, even if I ask once, he would be sarcastic because he thinks, and he has told me this, so he thinks that when he says something once, that's enough for you to know that he does want to do that.
And so again, he is telling you that he wants to see you, but there's something that perhaps won't let you to do that, and that's the fact that you think that perhaps he really doesn't want to see you, or he's just bothered and everything. Would it help you if he took the first step, like if he doesn't tell you that he wants to see you and he just comes and sees you?
Yeah, I would love that.
Has that happened?
No, never. I mean, he has never just like stopped to my house, by my house, and says like, "I'm here," but he has called me and said, "I'm going to your house," or, "Are you there? Can I come over?" So he has done something like that.
Okay.
But also it's easier for him to come to my house because my parents are like really liberal and they really like him. But then I don't know his parents, and I know that I can't come to his house without warning him because his parents may be there.
Okay. So it's easier for him to come to your house, and he has done it. And are you okay with the fact that you are not allowed to go to his house?
It's not that I'm not allowed. The thing is, so he told me once that his mom is very like a jealous person, and she's very complicated. So I think he has never brought like a girl to his house unless she was his girlfriend, and really long, like long term girlfriend. Like the first girlfriend he brought to his house. They were together for like 4 years, and his mother didn't like her. And then the second girl, I think he never took her to his house. And the third, he took her, but not that much. So I really don't care. I don't mind. That's not a problem for me. I usually go to his house when they're not like when he's like free, he has his house for him, and also when we go as a group with all his friends and me. So yeah, I don't really mind.
Okay, so that's something that it doesn't seem to bother you as much
Not
as
really.
the other things that are bothering you. So, would you say that if you talk to him about all of these things that are going on, and if you like tell him to come to your house or whatever, or if you see face to face, you think that perhaps it would be useful if we talk about some like agreement that you can do to avoid um, this thing like you assuming things and he doesn't reply to you.
Actually, we kind of did that a few weeks ago. We so whenever we were texting, because we um, when we were texting, we found out that both of us got really like resentful with things we say, but they're not really true. So we planned this thing where I would send like an emoji, a specific emoji, to whatever text isn't true. So if it's something sarcastic or something that he doesn't need to like really take into consideration, it has this emoji. But then I don't know.
So this emoji hasn't come up ever since you had this like fight.
No, actually, I didn't send any emoji. Yeah, but like I really don't know.
Why you don't know about what? About the emojis?
No, the emoji was fine. I'm usually the one who uses the most because he's very sensitive. But then I'm thinking about the conversation of these past like days, and I haven't sent the emoji. Probably I should have. I don't know.
Okay. So it seems that there is something like a communication trouble between you two because sometimes he takes to heart the things you said, and sometimes you do, and you even created a plan with an emoji and everything, but you are not using it sometimes. Do you think that perhaps you should have used it?
Yeah, but I don't know where. Like, I just don't know why he got so mad at me.
Okay, so right now it seems that you're really confused and you're really thinking about this, and it's something that is really worrying you right now. Do you think that perhaps he's feeling the same way?
I don't know. I think he might be feeling like if he was really angry at me, that I think he is. I think what he's trying to do is just like take time for himself and just think through everything. And I think that he will text me soon to say something like, "Let's meet and talk." But I don't know how soon that's gonna be. Yeah.
So it seems that you do know what's going to happen and what is the right thing to do, but there are little details that you're not happy with. For example, when it would happen, how it would happen.
Also, it scares me what would happen if he says something like, "I don't want to see you anymore" or something like that.
And what would you think that may happen after?
That would be horrible. I don't know. The fact that I don't know. I think he might even feel like
Is that you haven't considered about that? You haven't thought about it at all.
No, it just came to my mind. It just crossed.
But it's something that you don't want to happen.
No, I wouldn't want that to happen because even if we don't end up in a relationship, I really appreciate his friendship and the time we spent together. And he's very interesting, so I really talking to him and seeing him and everything. So yeah, that would suck if he said something like we should stop seeing each other or something.
So perhaps the fact that you don't want this to end is why you're overthinking all of this.
Maybe. Yeah.
And you're trying to find like the best solution, but there are so many things that you have to take into consideration that perhaps are not as important as the fact that perhaps he's going to write you soon, as you said, or perhaps is waiting for you to write him or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay, so perhaps that's something we can talk about in the upcoming session.
Okay, thank you.